Hey guys, it's Drew here. This video is going to be two parts. I apologize, but the system I use to edit and upload my videos will only allow me to upload a 15-minute video, and this one's more like 20, so I'm breaking it down into two parts. Also, real quick, a shop announcement. We're having our Samhain Sale in our Etsy shop, which goes from October 24th to November 7th. 25% off of select items. I will leave a link in the description for anyone who's interested. Let's get to it. I'm only going to be talking about some very basic things with regards to magic and spellcraft today. I just kind of want to lay a foundation for future videos. I do not claim to be an expert in anything. Anything that I discuss today will be my own personal understanding, interpretation, or experience with the topics I discuss. Of course, I myself am not Wiccan. If you watched my earlier video, A Peek into My Path, you'll know that I am shaman, though I do consider myself to be a witch. I feel very deep connection with the cycles of nature, and thus I observe the Esbats and Sabbats, I perform ritual, and I practice spellcraft. So yes, I consider myself to be a witch. Which brings me to my first point. Every Wiccan I've met personally is a witch. I guess that's how that works. But not every witch I've ever met is Wiccan. Actually, many, many witches. I think I've met more witches who consider themselves to be just solitary whatever witches that have looked into Wicca but just not really jived with it and just done their own thing. My understanding of Wicca is that it's a religion, and there are certain ethics and ideals and practices that are contained within that. Now, that's not to say that every Wiccan is the same. Of course they're not, but I understand that there's a basic framework. Whereas my experience with myself and other witches is that we just kind of go by instinct and guidance and intuition as to where our path leads us. Now, that's not to say that Wiccans don't do that. Of course they do that. They follow their instinct, intuition, and guidance just like everybody else. But there is a formula, if you will, to Wicca. Next, covens. I myself have never been part of a coven. I do know people who belong to covens. I have read about covens. This is my understanding of covens. They seem to me to be a sort of organized, almost political organizations. There's typically a high priestess and or a high priest. And from what I understand, in most covens, the members are of varying degrees of initiation. And what I mean by that is there is a certain tradition or teaching that a coven is following, and as a member becomes trained and more adept in different areas of the tradition, they are initiated deeper into the coven so that they can learn more. You don't just walk in and they're like, here's all the knowledge. Like, you work your way up, from what I understand. Of course, this may not be true of every coven, because in my experience, covens, practices, and rules vary widely from coven to coven. They can be very different things. In contrast to that, a circle is far more informal. And many times, the members of a circle are solitary practitioners from different paths. And they come together as equals and work together as such. I myself have been part of a circle. It was a wonderful experience. It was many years I spent, myself the shaman, my husband spiritual alchemist, and a Wiccan. And we came together in circle as equals and worked together and performed many wonderful, beautiful rituals and spells, very powerful experiences that I am sure I will cherish for the rest of my life. That was very fulfilling for me personally. Let's talk low magic versus high magic. I have a hard time with the term low magic. Somehow it just seems less than or something, but I strive to look at it as above, so below kind of thing. High magic, low magic. Not that it's low, it's just that it's earthly. So I often call it natural magic. Low magic is earthly magic, magic where you work with the elements. Anytime we perform candle magic, we work with oils, smudge, incense, herbs, stones, anything on the material plane where we're actually working with spell components. We are performing low magic, and there are many people in the world who perform low magic all the time and have no idea. My understanding of high magic is that it's a more inner magic. This is like using your will, visualization, and intention. Of course, all the witches I know do both at the same time. You know, we put our intention into our oils or our candles or what have you. And of course, many, many more people practice high magic without ever even realizing they're using magic. I'm just going to talk really briefly about spellcraft because I'm sure I will do further videos about that. Of course, the most basic component of a spell typically is the spoken word. I mean, that's even like the definition of spell. The important component of a spell, in my mind, is our intention, as well as our ability to fully connect with what we are doing and what it is we seek to accomplish. And of course, you know, any elements of low magic we add in, you know, candles, herbs, what have you, just emphasizes and empowers and enriches our work and makes our work much more powerful, in my mind. That is my experience with spellcraft. Of course, spells can be as simple or as complex as we desire. I have done both very simplistic and very complex spells. I've probably done more complex spells, but that's just a personal preference. I have had varying degrees of success and not with both simple and complex. Some of the most powerful spells I've ever done have been spells that I've just gotten the last minute guidance. You need to do this. And just gone on my intuition. Just quickly, spontaneously done the spell. But some of my most fulfilling spells have been my rather complex ones, where I look not only at the moon phase, but daily astrological influence and planetary hour. And then I suck in every corresponding object I can, candles, colors, herbs, stones, anything I can to enhance my spells. Those I feel are very powerful. Not only am I working with the energies around me, but these spells are often planned out well in advance. And I'm kind of feeding that energy the entire time that I'm anticipating that this spell is coming, and I'm thinking about it at different times and playing it in my mind and just sort of building that energy around it. So for me, those are very fulfilling and powerful as well. So I'm going to end it here. Please like and subscribe. And until next time, much love and gratitude.